Hello, everybody. I'm RJ, and well, for as long as I've been alive, I've always been obsessed with trains. I've always enjoyed watching them, playing with them, riding on them, and well, in the last few years, I've had a couple of rail adventures. I've taken the train to destinations like Montreal, from Seattle to Los Angeles, from New York to Chicago, and Seattle to Chicago. Additionally, I've taken the train from Rome all the way to London. But recently, I spent 2 weeks traveling around the United Kingdom, and well, these 2 days of Wales at a railway with a heart of gold was truly the greatest rail adventure I've ever had. So, let's dive into that today on RJ's Trains. Good morning from Birmingham, where it is insanely early once again. All right, real quick, RJ from the future cutting in. This was supposed to be part of a larger video showcasing all 14 days. That video would have ended up being 2 hours long and kind of boring, so I may release future videos of showcasing, other things that I did. But yeah, so that's why it kind of feels like we're in the middle of a video here. It's just because it technically was in the middle of a existing video. 5:25 in the morning, and we've got a train to catch. I'm in Birmingham right now. Terrible, disgusting city. I don't suggest you visit this on your trips to the United Kingdom. It is just a terrible, ugly, disgusting city. I forgot where I was going. My hate for Birmingham was just so strong. Oh, today we're heading to Wales, to the Talyllyn Railway. And yeah, I couldn't be more excited. So let's catch our tram, which appears to be in uno minuto. So I gotta hurry. Shout out to Ozzy. Didn't know he existed. What a unit. The Birmingham train station is really nice. After enjoying the views in Western England and Eastern Wales and transferring at a beautiful station I certainly cannot pronounce, it was time to take in the coastal views of Wales. And then I arrived at Talyllyn, which is where the Talyllyn Railway is located. And a lot happened at once, so I'm going to have to do a voiceover here because I didn't have time to film. So my train arrived at 9:30. I had to walk about a quarter mile to where my Airbnb was, drop my bags off, and then I ran to the Talyllyn to catch the 10 o'clock train. So it was Edward Thomas in this great gray livery. In this one picture where I'm smiling next to the locomotive, I have a breakfast sandwich in the other hand. That's how frazzled and rushed I was getting from the train to the Airbnb to the Talyllyn. But before you know it, I was on the train enjoying the beautiful view up the valley. After passing by number 7 Tom Rolt heading up the mountain, I got off the train going back down the mountain at Dolgach, checked out the awesome waterfall, the very famous viaduct, as well as catching both Edward Thomas and Dolgach coming across the viaduct with their trains, which was a real pinch me moment. So let's enjoy them crossing. Then it was time to climb aboard Tom Rolt and its train to head all the way back down the mountain to the wharf station. After getting back to the wharf station, I went and checked out the Narrow Gauge Museum and specifically the Audrey study. So this was the working office of the Reverend W. Audrey, who created Thomas the Tank Engine, as well as his own layout of Farquhar and his original models, which was just awesome to see. Also on display, they had one of the TV models of Skarloey, as well as the Reverend's models of the Talyllyn engines. I just thought this seagull was hilarious sitting on top of the coach. And here's a great picture of Tom Rolt before we take it back up the mountain, back to Dolgach to get some more pictures and videos of the locomotives. And continuing our streak of seeing Thomas and Friends characters in real life, this is Midlander, who was the basis for Rusty. After getting this really cool picture of Edward Thomas pulling into Dolgach, which reminds me of a certain station from a certain TV show, I was running extremely low on phone battery, so I don't have as much footage. But I took the train back down to Dolgach, caught Edward Thomas going back to the yard with its coaches, and then it was time to find dinner for the night. And just closing out the day at the Talyllyn Railway, I need to thank Zach and his dad at 71D Productions and Railway Dad. Links to their Instagram pages are down below. I actually met them the day before at the Severn Valley Railway, where there was a meetup for the Shunting Yard podcast. Links to them also down below in the description. And by coincidence, they were also heading to the Talyllyn Railway the next day, and they let me crash their holiday. I got to hang out and spend the day with them, and they're just awesome people, and I can't thank them enough for letting me tag along with them at the Talyllyn Railway for the day. So you guys are amazing. Thank you, Zach, and your dad. It was truly a blast to hang out with you guys. After charging up both myself and my phone after that early morning wake-up call, I headed back to the train station to go one stop to Aberdyfi, a nice little coastal town. Naturally, I had to get my gluten-free fish and chips, which were amazing, and I enjoyed a nice milkshake and the coastal views, and before you know it, it was time to head back up north to Talyllyn to rest for the night. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, and although the Talyllyn Railway is right behind me, unfortunately, that is not where I'm going today. But excitingly, I am heading up to Portmatic, which is about an hour and 20 minutes by train from here, to check out the Ffestiniog Railway. Yesterday was an amazing day at the Talyllyn Railway. My phone was running low on battery for most of the afternoon and evening, which is why I didn't record anything face-to-face like this. But the Talyllyn Railway, what an amazing experience. Originally, my plan for tomorrow was to wake up really early again, head back to London and check out maybe a museum or two. But I think I might just chill here in the morning and watch trains leave the Talyllyn. It seems like a much more relaxing time. So yeah, walking to the train station now. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning, the sun's still coming up. There's nobody out here, and yeah, let's head up to Portmatic and ride the Ffestiniog Railway. At Portmadoc. That's how they pronounced it on the train, so sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Just finished up breakfast at a place called Break Times, which is in an industrial park, about a 10-minute walk from the train station. Fantastic breakfast. Nearly everything on the menu can be made gluten-free for my fellow celiacs out there. Amazing breakfast. I was completely shocked, and they were playing country music, so anyway, I had to give them a plug here. Break Times in Portmadoc, Wales. Great breakfast. Now it's time to head over to the Ffestiniog and West Highland Heritage Railway to, of course, ride some trains. I got to the station in Portmatic, and there was already a ton of action. But before I knew it, it was time to climb aboard my train, the Mountain Spirit, all the way up to Ffestiniog, and I was being pulled by this lovely double Farley. So we get to Ffestiniog, which is the top station, and you theoretically have time to go into town to get lunch, but there weren't really any options for me. But the scenery was just stunning with these mountains of all of the waste slate just laying on them. It was a surreal landscape that I've never seen anything like it before. But I also got to check out the locomotive doing its thing, running around, so on and so forth. I learned my lesson going up the mountain, so coming back down, we had some pretty spectacular views.
So we arrived back at Portmatic, and there was just a flurry of activity, as you just saw, of trains coming and going. But best of all, Prince, the oldest narrow gauge steam locomotive in the world, as well as the basis of Duke, was operating, and so I got to watch it work the station yard. And it truly doesn't get better than enjoying a nice pint of cider, enjoying steam locomotives, and just the natural scenery.
What an awesome day here at the Ffestiniog Railway. I'm not gonna lie, it started off a little rough. The way up the mountain, I was in a car with a ton of screaming kids, and you sit on the left-hand side if you're by yourself, and you're basically just looking at a rock wall. If you're going up the mountain, you really want to sit on the right-hand side. So on the way back, I stood near one of the doors, and it was all fine. Anyways, what a day. Got to see Prince. Check that off the list. That's the one locomotive that I was really hoping to see while I was here, and you know, incredible luck, I was actually able to see it. So I'm gonna hang around here for another 40 or some odd minutes, see if anything else arrives, pick up dinner, and catch the train back to my Airbnb in Talyllyn. So what a great day at the Ffestiniog Railway.
So real quick, I just need to point out how crazy of a scene this is. This is a South African Railways Garratt locomotive street running through the streets of coastal rural Wales. Just an insane sight. Anyways, enjoy. And soon enough, my last full day in Wales came to an end. Got my train back to Talyllyn and took in this beautiful sunset on the way home.
Good morning from Talyllyn. I don't know what day it is, but all I know is that it is my second to last full day here in the glorious United Kingdom. And it's daylight out, so it's not super early in the morning. Originally, my plan was to wake up super early and catch a train back to London, mess around there for this afternoon, but instead I'm heading back to the Talyllyn Railway, where they have a lovely cafe attached to the station there, having a nice breakfast, watching some of the morning trains depart, and then this afternoon we'll head back down to London. So yeah, let's go. I mean, my hotel, my Airbnb was on the street corner. The Talyllyn Railway is on the street corner, so not a far walk at all. And I'm excited to get some good eats.
After enjoying this amazing English breakfast at the King's Cafe at the Wharf Station, got to check out Sir Hayden in its Railway Series livery, departing Wharf Station with the 10 o'clock train. And in a truly picture-perfect ending, there was no better way to depart my amazing time in Wales than with the railway's namesake locomotive, Talyllyn, departing with the 11 o'clock train.
When I was at the Ffestiniog Railway, I saw this sign that said, "A place where the soul finds peace." I won't attempt to pronounce it in Welsh because I've already messed up enough Welsh pronunciations in this video. And there's really no other way to describe my 2.5 days in Wales than with that slogan. I spent my whole life dreaming of visiting both of these places, and my soul truly felt at peace. And I hope that everybody who enjoys our shared hobby of trains and railroading, whether in modeling or the real form, is able to find that place where the soul finds peace. That's it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching today on RJTRAINS.